Star Smiley, singer-songwriter. Do you know anyone suffering from an addiction? There are all kinds of addictions. Drugs, alcohol, gambling, food. Today we're going to focus on drug and alcohol addiction. Perhaps you have a coworker, tenant, or family member who has or had an alcohol or drug addiction. This is podcast number 28, and in this podcast, we're going to hear about addiction from two recovering addicts and what they learned from rehab. So let's get to it. My guests are my nephew, Chad, and his wife, Lauren. So here we go. I have two recovering drug addicts with me here today, and they have both been to rehab. So let's meet them. Chad, Lauren, how are you doing today?
Doing really great.
Oh, great.
Well, cool. Well, Chad, let me start with you. How many rehabs have you been to?
I've been to two rehabs.
Okay, yeah.
First time was in 2008, 9, I think 2008, and just passed last year, 2024.
Well, did the last one help?
You're the same ones, but yeah.
Okay, so it was the same rehab you even went to.
Pretty much.
When you went, were they pretty much the same program?
No. A lot of the grounds, a lot of the steps were still the same because they teach the same steps like NA, AA, Thinking for a Change, T for C. Yeah.
Well, what do you think made the last one work?
I have two beautiful daughters. It really instilled my will to.
So you had motivation.
I did.
Lauren, how many rehabs have you been to?
I've been to 3.
3?
Yes.
Okay.
So the very first one was in 2020 when my daughter was 6 months old, or was just born up until she was 6 months old. And then the last 2 were back to back. Unfortunately, the one program I didn't successfully complete due to legal and just not feeling like that was the fit for me anymore.
Okay.
And then I was able to find the other rehab, which is a great fit for me.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool. Now you're still in rehab.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's good. And you're getting out soon.
Yes, January 21st I graduate.
Oh, that sounds great. And of course, you're motivated to really make the rehab work too.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, cool. Okay, well, I have some questions for you guys. First is, what is addiction?
Addiction to me is an allergy.
Okay.
So, and an obsession of the mind. Most people, they sit there, most normal drinkers or recreational drug users, they'll sit there and be able to put it down. With us addicts, we obsess over it. When can we get our next fix? And it's just an allergy. It's an obsession of the mind.
Okay, so it's like a disease. Any of these drug addicts or alcohol addicts, whatever, it's just a disease of the mind.
Yes.
Wow. Chad, do you have anything to add to that?
It's pretty much anything that's unmanageable. Things you can't control. It's an addiction.
Well, that sounds good. Well, how do you know if you're addicted to, say, alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, opioids, amphetamines, nicotine? How do you know that you're addicted?
Well, first, you start noticing you don't have any money. You notice that, your employer doesn't like your work anymore, and you lose your job. And then you're stealing from your friends, stealing from family.
You're saying a lot there. You're saying about losing jobs and stealing from your family, etc. That's not good.
No. To me, I didn't realize I was an addict until I hit rock bottom. Okay. Until life had completely become unmanageable. Losing family and losing my kids.
Wow. So basically, if you're addicted, if you are a slave to it because you can't control it.
Yes.
Wow. Well, what does being an addict do to the brain?
You obsess over it. You're always wanting more. Yeah, you're always wanting more. You obsess over it. That's all you think about.
Do drugs change the chemistry in the brain?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And for people who don't know about drugs, never done drugs, and they try to say that they can relate, they can't relate. They don't know shit about it. They don't know there's no possible way they can relate. Okay, and people who hold it against other addicts, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, oh, why don't you just quit, or why don't you do this, why don't you do that? And the people are hurt, man. There's something wrong with them. They're broken inside, and whatever it may be, you know, just because they're not broken inside or never turned to drugs, but you know, to mend their problems. That's somebody's daughter, that's someone's father, that's somebody's mother, that's someone, they need help, man. They need, you know, they need help.
I agree. I think people are broken in all different kinds of ways,
Right.
and everybody deserves help and support.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, well, how does someone become a drug addict?
I don't think anyone can just become. I think it's genetic, and it's also mental. It's a mental escape, you know, trying to numb.
Could it have anything to do with how you were brought up?
That could be a factor too. Environment, it can be peers,
Okay.
you know.
I started doing drugs in my mom's stomach. You know.
So you were a drug addict before you were even born?
Yeah, big time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, some people have that, and then you just have to get
Been
over it
growing up
when you're
around
ready.
it, you know what I mean? It was a second nature. Of course, I want to do what my parents did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, I don't.
But you've changed. You're already changing.
Absolutely.
You're recovering,
Absolutely.
and that's perfect. That after a whole lifetime of this, that you made the decision to
Yeah.
correct the course.
Yeah.
I mean, for you.
Right.
Well, very good. Okay, people with different traumas seek drugs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, there's some more reasons people become drug addicts, aren't there?
Nothing to do. Like
Okay.
if you're in a rural city, that's usually the only thing to do. Get drunk, go four-wheeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of the environment. They always say people, places, and things. That's the thing that you have to remove yourself from. But you also have to have a mindset to want change.
Okay. And some people just don't really have
Also,
that.
doctors, you know, giving you medications and getting you strung out on it and whatnot, which is the case for me growing up with painkillers.
That's very
now,
true.
Stage 4 cancer and on medication, like, you know, like even now on stage, the medication I take, it's not, it barely works. You know, the tolerance levels, you know.
Yeah. Well, you have more of a tolerance for pain than regular people.
Yes, absolutely.
No, there's just all kinds of disadvantages.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's advantages somewhere in there, but
Oh, yeah.
not the advantages that we want.
No.
Okay. I understand some people feel pressure to improve their focus on school or work or their abilities in sports and stuff like that. People like that go into drugs too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
Peer
of
pressure.
college kids wanting to improve on their academics. You know, studying all night, so to stay up, they take Adderall. You know, you also
Ritalin.
have Ritalin.
Yeah, Ritalin.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Ritalin.
Wow.
And then you also have all the parties. You know,
Yeah.
the kids become alcoholics before they even know it. You know, partying every night or every weekend, it leads to more.
A lot of adults do that too.
Yes.
Well, there's no wonder why there's a drug and alcohol problem in our country. Okay, you guys would know, what is a drug addict's life like?
Unmanageable, chaotic.
Okay.
Horrible.
It is.
Ain't nothing easy about it. Just 'cause we ain't got a job doesn't mean that we're life's so easy for us that all we do is run around, get high and stuff, and it's fucking horrible. I hear voices when I'm high, you know what I mean? They terrorize me. Okay.
Yes.
I go in psychosis, think that they're chasing me, trying to kill me, and everything else for days on end. It was horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very fun at all.
And at one point in time, she started hearing them and finally understood what it felt like, and she had a whole new respect for it.
Yeah, it was horrible. Like, and I'd never had voices in my head. And then when I was all by myself, he was in jail. I felt like everybody was out to get me. Yeah, rehab. I felt like everybody was out there to get me. It was crazy. And it's more of you make up these scenarios in your head than anything.
So if you hadn't been on the drugs, you probably would not have heard the voices.
No.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not
Right.
good. Okay, so getting high just becomes the most important thing in your life, and you'll do anything to get there?
Yes. It's more of an escape than anything. Escape from reality, escape from your traumas.
Well, and that's where rehab helps you.
They help you with tools that you need, and
Cool,
the
skills.
12 steps. Yep, the 12 steps. That's the biggest thing, the big book. Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous.
Okay, well, before we get into that, let's discuss, when does an addict realize they need help?
Normally it takes a jail sentence or a serious death in the family, or someone close to them dying, or they start realizing they don't have no money no more, their car's gone, their houses are gone, their kids are gone. It only takes something big like that to smack them in the face when they wake up a little bit.
So not
I mean,
too...
I was a hard head. I've been in prison and everything else, and it didn't work for me.
Wow.
But and again, I had a lot of mental issues and problems growing up as a kid. So. Yeah.
Well, how about you, Lauren?
To me, I think when you realize that you need help is when you become unmanageable, like your whole life becomes unmanageable. You no longer see any joy in anything. And you're tired of it. You're tired of feeling the way that you feel. It's almost like your life is being sucked out of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, then you don't think very many addicts seek help on their own. To you, it seems like they pretty much have to be court-ordered.
Yes. So most of the time they don't feel like they deserve it. That they've done too many bad things in order, and that it's not going to work. I know that was my case. You know, I got a case of the Effets and just didn't care, you know.
Wow.
Felt like my life had gone to crap. Lost my kids, lost my family.
Wow.
So,
Wow, so you kind of did hit rock bottom.
yes, very much so. Sleeping on friends' couch, you know. Thank God for them, or I would have been in the streets.
So that's good.
Yeah.
You had friends, and that counts a lot.
It does, especially in the drug world, because most of the time it's a very cutthroat place, and they don't care about you. They really don't. They just want what they can get out of you, and that's it.
It's just hard to believe after all that, what you just said. Now you're in rehab, ready to graduate. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, you turned it around really, really well. Are drug dealers usually addicts too?
I was one enabler. I decided a long time ago that it was a lot cheaper to sell drugs and do my own, so I had drugs instead of paying somebody else for drugs. And so I just figured, well, if I can go out robbing and stealing things to get drugs, why don't I just get my own drugs and sell them, and then have enough for me and her to have drugs together.
Mine was, I was selling pills and I wasn't doing them, but to keep up with the clientele, I ended up doing meth and got addicted to meth. So, Yeah, it's a catch-22.
And it sounds like it, yeah. And you didn't really want to be doing any of that. You just got wrapped up into it.
Yes, ma'am. Especially being a single mom. This is before me and him met.
Wow.
I was a single mom taking care of a newborn and trying to keep the lights on. So, and it was the only thing that I knew. I didn't have a vehicle, didn't have anywhere to go. Was living in my Nana's house. She had just passed away and was taking care of me and my daughter, you know.
So it's just
I would
tough
come
out
and
there.
drop our charity stuff to her.
Wow.
Charity bags.
Well, that's good of you. Good of you.
Yeah,
But that's
charity bags.
But that sounds like a tough life, a very tough life.
It is.
Wow. Well, while we're on the subject of drug dealers, how many addicts do you think are in jail or in prison? Chad, you've been in prison. What do you think?
How many drug addicts are in prison?
Yes.
You know? Oh shit. Pretty much all of them.
Okay. Do
Except
you?
for pedophiles and rapists and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But even they're probably on something when they're doing it. You know?
Lauren?
A lot of times, the drug addicts are trying to seek their next fix, so they're doing something stupid. And then they get caught, you know, whether it's domestic violence, petty theft, whatever. And then they'll probably have something on them, so then they get possession as well. It's just...
It's like a revolving door
It
in the
is
courts.
a revolving door with probation and everything, you know. I violated 4 times, you know, and the last 2 I can honestly say were out of my control. It was due to rehab and due to non-payment. But other than that, it's a revolving door because you're still out there trying to get that fix.
A question about probation. How much does probation cost per week or per month?
So it's a set amount. You have court costs and you have court fees, as well as the probation fee and drug fees, like drug testing fees.
Oh, so you have to pay for those drug tests.
Yes, ma'am. You have to pay like a $65 first time drug testing, and then they pay for it the rest, I think. I'm pretty sure. But every time you go to court, they add on to your probation.
Okay, so they extend the time.
Not just the time, but the money as well.
Okay.
So because they have to pay for those court costs and
Okay.
those court fees.
Okay.
So when I first started probation, it was $1,800. Now it's like $3,000 that I have to pay.
How are you ever gonna? And now you're getting out of rehab. You're gonna be clean. You're gonna be ready to go. But how in the world are you ever gonna pay that back?
So they do have ways that you can do community hours,
Okay.
and you get paid $10 an hour for each community hour that you do.
Well, that sounds like a good idea.
And then they can also reduce some of your fees by getting your GED and stuff too.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. That's good, encouraging stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just some more questions. How many drug addicts or alcoholics, whatever, how many are homeless? Yeah, I mean, do you have any idea?
It depends on their social circles, friends, what type of family they have.
Well, I know like Lauren was sleeping on somebody's couch.
Yeah.
Right.
So you were essentially homeless.
Yes, ma'am. So most of the homeless people that I've seen are addicts as well. Either they're alcoholics or they're addicts.
Okay.
Again, it's that not caring anymore. Like, I've lost it all. Why even bother?
Wow. Well, another question. Can people be weaned off drugs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know my dad, when I was on pills really bad, he helped wean me off of them. But I think it's a mindset as well. It's not just because it is an allergy, you do obsess over them. And usually 9 times out of 10, you substitute one drug for another.
Okay. Okay. Does rehab cure the people that go through the rehab doors?
Not necessarily. They give you the tools that you need.
Your work steps.
So you get the steps, you get the tools, and then it's up to you whether you really use them and get to where you want to get in life.
Right.
Yes, and networking, that's a big thing. Keeping in touch with your network, keeping your sponsor, that's a really big thing. And a sponsor is somebody who takes you through the steps.
Oh, okay. Well, while we're talking about steps now, let's get into the steps. There's NA and there's AA, and then there's the one for the people that don't do drugs.
Aon or
Al-Anon.
Al-Anon.
Okay, so it's important enough to even have someone for the supporters. I mean,
Yes.
a group of the supporters too. Wow. Okay, are NA and AA faith-based?
Not necessarily. AA is not associated or with any sections or denominations. They believe that you need to have a higher power, somebody higher than you, like something that you believe in that's greater than yourself.
Okay.
And they have a chapter in the big book called the Agnostics.
Okay.
And because most of us don't want to hear about God.
Okay.
You know, we're really mad at God.
Oh, okay.
You
Interesting. So you have to like rebuild your relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
The first 3 steps are the ones that you surrender and you finally admit that you're powerless over your addiction. And the second one is where you come to believe that only a source greater than yourself can restore you back to sanity.
Okay.
And then the third one is surrendering your will and your life over to the power of God or your higher power.
Wow. That sounds like a great way to start on something like that. I mean, it makes sense.
It is.
Yeah.
They have the steps in order for a reason. You know, you go through your resentments, you confess it to somebody else, which is your sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
You humble yourselves and you ask for God to take away your character defects. You even make amends to the people that you've harmed. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And then you, in this 12th step, you come all the way back around and you help the next alcoholic or drug addict.
Oh, that's a perfect circle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's what sponsors are just doing the 12th step. They're just helping others.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, well, addiction, just like heart disease, it is a disease. It could happen to anyone. So, well, that's good. Okay, a couple other things to be aware of. Be wary of making addicts feel like outcasts.
Yes. So the support is the biggest thing that we need.
It's gonna happen anywhere.
So, like,
So some people, there's so many snobs out there, so you know, holding those up at you. You know what I mean? For being an addict, and one of the people I know is, and I will die for your kids. You know nothing about me. You know what I mean? But you're so quick to hold your nose up at you as a drug addict. You know, and you again, you know the first thing about me. You know, being an addict. Okay, but addiction does not discriminate. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, if you drive a Lexus or hoopty, man. You know what I'm saying? Addiction does not discriminate. It will grab anybody, you know. And for another person to see that feel like they're better than the next person because they were lucky and blessed enough not to be like molested or beat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or fucked up as a child, you know what I'm saying? That they're so much better than that person because they don't have to use drugs to you know, hide behind, you know what I mean?
I want to insert something here. I don't think people think they are better than addicts. I do think that people don't want to be around addicts because they steal, they are manipulative, and they always need something that you don't want to give them. Nobody wants to be an addict. As in the law of attraction, like attracts like. Just know addicts can be good people that have good intentions. It's just because of their brain disorder from doing the drugs, they make bad decisions. When they're in their addiction, they cannot be trusted. They desperately need people to have confidence in them, but they have to get to a place within themselves so that people can have confidence in them. When they're fresh out of rehab, they do need positive support so they don't relapse.
And if they're put in that situation, their whole view on things would change.
Well, I think that you guys, you just have to believe in yourselves.
Absolutely.
You are the one that decides all that for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
the mindfulness, being aware of things, because most of the time people don't realize what others are going through or anything like that. I tell the ladies all the time, be more mindful of how you say things or what you say to people, because you never know, that one word can take them right back out, and it's a sad thing, but our self-esteem is so low that, we don't believe we're good enough.
Does rehab give you the tools to build your confidence, to make you or help you believe in yourselves?
Yes and no. Honestly, they give you the tools to start consciously thinking more for yourself. But you have to let go of that guilt and shame. You have to say, I'm not going to be part of the 97 or 98% that goes out and relapses.
Oh, wow, so you think it's that big a percentage?
Yes, ma'am. There's only 2% of meth users that actually stay sober.
Wow. And this is from rehab itself, we're
That's
hearing
that,
that.
Yeah, that's actually stats.
Wow. Well, you guys are doing something pretty wonderful.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're doing it. I mean, it's really cool. Okay, well, just something to say is on this, how can we help is don't use your love against them. Instead of saying, if you loved me, you would quit, say, I love you. How can I help you recover?
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't want to push them further away.
Okay.
Because I already have guilt, I already have shame, and I don't want to feel like I'm a burden more so. And that's my biggest problem, is feeling like I'm a burden to others.
And that would be a big problem.
It is.
Big problem.
Especially when you're trying and it feels like nobody's seeing,
Yeah, and I felt that. I felt that before myself.
And it's hard, because I'm changing my whole way of thinking, my whole life around. And when you have someone who throws things up in your face, that's why we try to get rid of our resentment, so we can let them go and make those amends. That way we don't have to keep repeating the cycle.
Well, just know that you guys are very valued. You're very, very valued, and we know you can do this. In fact, you are doing this, and you're not alone by any means. Just know that you are very supported.
Thank you.
Okay, now one more thing, last thing. Anything else that would be good for people to know?
If you got an addiction and you need help, there's places out there that will help you.
And that don't cost anything either. They have work therapy programs, they have faith-based programs. It really works. God first, recovery second, and everything else falls in place.
Wow. Well, cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing with me, and I just really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, and I wish you both a wonderful life ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you and take care.
Yes, ma'am, you too.
Thank you, Chad and Lauren, for talking with us today. Once someone abuses drugs or alcohol, illegally or legally, it is very hard for them to stop. And this is a problem that's currently growing in our country. The biggest way to help addicts is to help people never abuse drugs in the first place. Tell and show your kids what drug addiction looks like when they are young. Spend time with your kids so they know you love them and they know what being healthy looks like. Support the Don't Do Drugs at school. If you are an addict yourself, quit for the kids' sake. Kids copy their parents. Can you quit after one? Can you quit for a week or a month? I want to let you know I have an excellent long-time friend that had a very serious, painful surgery, and they prescribed oxycodone to help her get better. Well, she became addicted to it. She was a very beloved, responsible, respected teacher. So that proves this can happen to literally anyone. It took a long time for her to beat that addiction, but she finally did, and I'm so proud of her for beating it. While she was in the addiction, we couldn't be friends. I missed her for literally years. Now we are friends again, real friends, and I'm so glad. 2024 prescription drug abuse statistics. Approximately 18 million Americans misused prescription medications in the past year. Opioids remain the most commonly abused prescription drug, with over 10 million users. Prescription opioids misuse rates have increased by 15% compared to 2023, so it's going up. Nearly 70% of individuals abusing prescription drugs obtain them from friends or family. Only 10% of individuals with substance use disorder receive treatment. I have seen my nephew, just in the last 9 months, make incredible progress with how he thinks and how he makes decisions. He is definitely more sensitive to the people around him, and you can tell that Lauren from the podcast is focused on getting her kids back and making a great life for all of them. I know when addicts are really motivated, they can beat addiction. Now you know more about addiction from an addict's point of view. An absolutely excellent song about addiction is Addicted by Vinjay, V-I-N-J-A-Y. I can't put a song with the artist performing it on my podcast or I could lose the podcast. Plus, I'm not a rapper, so I can't sing it. So look up Addicted by Vinjay. Even though I'm not crazy about rap, it is a really good song to help you see what addiction is. That's it for addiction. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. What's next? Let's see. I think my next podcast will be about how to clean guns, again to get ready for skeet shooting with my neighbors, or backyard bees with another neighbor. You know, it feels really comfortable exploring life and doing different things with your friends. I feel I live in a very special neighborhood. If you find you want more community, more feeling of peace in your life, just talk to the people around you. I believe that most people really are good people, including recovering drug addicts. Nearly all people were raised differently from me, and have had totally different circumstances in their lives. If you go to them from a position of love, they will likely come back to you with love. I feel that my neighbors all love each other. Why can't the whole world be like that? Take care, everyone. See you next time.